15.
This matchup is interesting between these two because for Osorio in particular, her first round, as we mentioned, against Maria Sakkari is a long 3-set match late into the night. Very different opponent she's facing today. I mean, obviously they're well aware of each other. Have played each other 4 times. But Jabeur's going to bring a lot of variety, which you know, Sakkari didn't necessarily play that way the other night. Oh, what a turn.
That was super. And Ons Jabeur also has great tennis IQ.
Exactly. So she's going to bring a lot more variety. You know, she relies on that forehand quite a bit. As you saw right there, she's able to flatten that one out, slap it, and get some good pace behind it. But she likes to use the slice, the drop shot. So she has more tools to use than someone like Sakkari. That's too good. That particular slice just floating a bit, sitting up there for Osorio.
Well, 2 breakpoint opportunities still to come for Jabeur. And only needs 1. And that's a lovely opening break of serve for the Tunisian. Jill Ons Jabeur, one of the most popular tennis players really in the world we could talk about in the women's game, but she not just brings so much to the court, but what she does off court is to be admired.
Definitely. She's one of those that has a good perspective about things. I mean, this is kind of her happy place on the court. She enjoys competing. I know she can sometimes get frustrated, but everybody does. It's a frustrating sport, to be honest. But, you know, she is very a thoughtful person. She's very into, you know, world peace, as she's talked about so much, does so much for kids. She's an ambassador for the World Food Program, wanting to give a lot of kids and people around the world, making sure they have access to food. So she's all about those worldly ideas and trying to get more involved. She takes on a lot, actually. I mean, if you want someone to represent that region of the world, she's a great ambassador.
Oh, yes.
She's someone definitely to look up to.
She's a player that stands for something more than herself, and did say in her Instagram post when she was stepping away from the tennis court due to that shoulder injury that she would dedicate her time to charitable work. There's a lot to be admired. Love 30.
Fault.
Oh, that's a lovely serve out wide. Oh, too good. Lovely variety. Just teasing her opponent there. Holding serve, Jabeur to love.
That's what makes her so fun to watch, is that she can come up with shots that you're not expecting. You feel like you're on the offense, and all of a sudden you're scrambling and running. Just that drop shot that Jabeur hit on the complete stretch. She's got such good feel with her hands and just understands the dimensions of the court so well. Makes her tricky to play. For Osorio, it's interesting. I mean, you mentioned they played each other 4 times before. The last time was actually on grass. They played each other twice last year, once on grass and once on clay. But 3 of the 4 meetings have been at a Grand Slam. Last year on the clay was at Roland Garros. It's actually a really tough match, 3 sets. That would, my guess would be Osorio's favorite surface against someone like Jabeur. Oh, that's beautiful. So she has pushed Jabeur in the past, even though she hasn't beaten her. So those are the instances you got to try and take some confidence away, knowing that you've, been able to impact your opponent to some degree. This is what got Osorio through that soccer match, that long 3-set match against the Greek, was her energy, the fire that she brought, the energy she brought.
Well, it was a great return at full stretch from Jabeur. Yes, we think that there are slightly less Colombians right now than there were.
Definitely.
In the first round match. I think maybe they've had to go to work because it was a night match that Osorio enjoyed against Zachary, and 80% of them were Colombian in court 3, that's for sure. Oh, super backhand from Jabeur. Finds the gap.
40-30.
Known as the Minister of Happiness, she doesn't look particularly happy at the moment.
Out.
2-1 in the opening set. Ons Jabeur with the early break. They're definitely different in their demeanour. Osorio is bouncing around the court, bouncing back at the change of ends. Looks like Jabeur's a little bit more relaxed. It doesn't look like she's...
She always kind of has that demeanor about her, though. Yeah, I mean, she's not one... You'll see her fist pump occasionally, like if it's a really tense moment or close match, but she does kind of have more of a relaxed demeanor about her on the court. Look at those images. Absolutely beautiful day once again in Melbourne. And I love that this facility is so close to the city. It's easy access for the players to get back and forth from the accommodations to the site. It makes a big difference when it's a 5-minute drive compared to a 45-minute drive sometimes. Yeah, it's beautiful.
Have you tried rowing? Plenty of rowing.
Well, I have rowed before, but not here.
The physio has been told.
Yeah, the physio. I thought I maybe saw Jabeur coughing a little bit in that second game, and I saw her chatting with the umpire on this changeover, and sure enough, she has decided to call the physio onto the court. So we're just delayed here, waiting for the physio to come, and hopefully not too serious of a situation for the Tunisian.
What sidelined Jabeur last year was the shoulder, but also there was a knee concern. That's why she missed the Paris Olympics.
Knee and shoulder, yeah. And there's a look at Jabeur's team. Assam Jalali on the left, her coach, longtime coach, and her husband on the right, Kareem Kamoon. Oh no, that's not a good sign. I don't know if she's getting emotional. A look of concern. And Osorio taking this opportunity to go and talk to her coach, Ricardo Sanchez, who's in her corner. But hopefully everything's going to be okay with Ons.
See Kareem, her husband, on the right, looking anxiously. I mean, it's very early in this match, of course.
She started strong too.
Yeah, got the early break. Well, tennis has meant so much to Ons Jabeur over the years, and she doesn't look happy. To bring the physio out after only 3 games.
Obviously, it's something that was pre-existing because they're just having a chat. Normally, if there's something that's critical that needs to get taken care of right away, you see them going in their bag, but not just having a discussion. Must be, I don't know if it's, she patted her heart, so I don't know if it's heart rate or. I take her off court.
And she actually had a tissue out and she was dabbing her eyes. So Ons Jabeur is going to leave the court for a moment. And that's concerning for the Ons Jabeur fans who would have come into court 3 very much looking forward to this match. There is her camp looking on rather anxiously. So we will wait and see, but Osorio is certainly ready to play. And,
I think Osorio a little surprised.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well,
as
so
you
early.
mentioned, only 3 games. Yeah, so just not quite sure. I think she's just asking the umpire a couple questions. I think she wants to maybe take some serves or keep hitting or stay warm. I'm not quite sure, but yeah, it's just a little surprising, actually.
so we will wait and watch. Osorio, though, has a good opportunity. I mean, it's going to be a tough opponent with Ons Jabeur, but I'm not entirely sure how Ons Jabeur is feeling right now. There's certainly something up for the Tunisian. So while she does that, Osorio will put on, will practice, hit a few serves, which she's allowed to do.
So a lot of times in these situations, when they go off court, there'll be a general assessment. We saw a little discussion happening with the trainer and the umpire Del Noor from Egypt. He's going to be in constant contact with the trainer just to make sure what's going on, just to get a sort of a time frame of what's happening. But you do kind of get this general assessment where you talk to the player, figure out what's going on, and then decide if a medical treatment is required, which would be a 3-minute medical treatment. And that time doesn't start until after the assessment. So in the assessment, I think they just give a reasonable amount of time. And smart for Osorio here just to keep moving. It's amazing how quickly you can get cold and tighten up. So these players are experienced, know what needs to be done just to keep that body moving. Of course, it's difficult when you don't know how long it's going to be. But
Yes, it's a waiting game right now. Now, Osorio has only reached the last 32 once before at a Grand Slam, and that happened at Wimbledon 4 years ago in 2021. And so, you know, it's a big opportunity for her today. She isn't playing Ons Jabeur at her best. Ons has been as high as #2 in the world. That was in June 2022. Now 39th, but an awful lot of that is because she hasn't played over the last few months with that shoulder injury.
I mean, it's a good sign for Osorio to have her best slam so far on the grass. That's the surface that can be the trickiest to transition to for someone that's grown up on the hard courts or the clay courts. So it's a good sign that for someone so young that she's been able to adapt pretty quickly to all the surfaces.
Well, what I can tell you is while we wait somewhat anxiously to find out what has happened with Ons, how she's feeling, will there be a medical timeout? I am delighted to tell you, Jill, that do you know what? 86,000 fans came in yesterday in spite of the rain. Another record set at the Australian Open. It really is the Happy Slam.
Well, every year it just keeps getting better and better. The venue gets bigger, there's more space. I think they're making it a lot more fan-friendly every single year. They're trying to provide a lot more shaded areas because we know how hot the weather can get here. There's a lot of entertainment for the fans, a lot of good restaurants.
Did you enjoy the live band this morning when you walked in?
I didn't see it.
Oh,
I came in from a different entrance.
Oh, well.
Did you come in right here?
I did.
Garden Square entrance?
Garden Square. Oh, that's the entrance to come in. Yes,
okay, what was happening?
There were the bongos were going crazy.
That's great.
I know. I nearly started having a little dance with them, but yeah, they create a good atmosphere. As soon as you step foot into Melbourne Park, here is the view. There's the city just behind. I mean, you can walk into the city and in just over 5 minutes, or catch the tram. Excellent tram service that runs through Melbourne.
And everything's so easy, right? I just feel like everything is so easy, accessible. Yeah, it's just great how they've been able to situate everything for the fans and easy for the players too and the staff. And yeah, it's just a really nice setting.
I got my towel yesterday.
Did you?
You have to have a towel, don't you? You have to buy a towel at any Grand Slam. You have the
but
good
there are
fortune
multiple varieties, aren't there? Which towel did you get?
Yeah, I remember like the yellow and blue one. I just liked. Yeah, very good. It's the hat I'm after next. Certainly going to need it on a sunny day like this. Let's hope it stays. So we continue to wait. We've had some excellent tennis so far. We had an upset yesterday, though, for Chinese fans.
Ons Jabeur is now receiving an off-court medical timeout.
So now the medical timeout starts. So from this point forward, it would be a 3-minute medical timeout for Jabeur. I think also near these stadiums, they usually have a little room right under the stadium where so they don't have to go back to the main area in Rod Laver Arena. They usually have in these outside stadiums a little room just underneath where she can get assessed. So I don't think she'll be very far.
But it's not what we want to see. If you're a fan of Jabeur, this early in the match, you got the early break, only 3 games played, to be off for a medical timeout so soon. So, yes, yesterday, one of the Chinese seed, Zheng Xinwen, the runner-up last year, crashed out at the hands of Laura Siegmund. There was a thriller of a 5-setter last night for the Australian fans. Unfortunately, they were cheering for Kokkinakis, but Jack Draper through to the 3rd round. Yes, that was...
I watched that whole match. It was, well, not the whole match, but I watched the last 3 sets. Unbelievable match. And Kokkinakis had it. He was serving for it.
He was,
and
indeed.
Just got a little nervous, but you got to give a huge credit to Jack. I mean, those are the type of... Oh, here she comes.
Oh, didn't need 3 minutes. She's back.
She actually looks pretty good. Comes out by herself, no trainers.
Well, she was coughing earlier, Jill, as you mentioned. Well, that's good. Issam and Karim on their feet, offering words of encouragement. So Ons is back and play resumes.
And these types of situations too, when you're maybe not feeling 100%, it'll be interesting to see how Jabeur starts, because normally you want to make these points a little bit shorter. You don't want to exert so much energy. See how it goes. Good couple points, even the first one, even though she made the mistake. Had a good point, set it up well. The good news for her is when she does play, she's very fluid, so she doesn't look like she's stressing herself too much overall. That's too much. There is a very easy way about her. She doesn't look like she's I think because she's so fluid, so it doesn't look like she's has to exert as much energy, but it'll be interesting to see. I mean, Osorio's going to want to make these points long. Keep her moving, keep her out there as long as possible. Fault! She's definitely coughing.
Just long. Oh, now this is an opportunity for Osorio to break back.
Good focus here from the Colombian. It's not easy when someone's been off court for a decent amount of time to have a quick start like this. She's done well. Nasty slice.
30-14.
Stayed so low, had a lot of backspin on it. Difficult one to control for Osorio.
Well, one break point saved, one more to come.
Yes.
Which Ons Jabeur does. She has a whole variety of shots, doesn't she, Jill,
she does,
in her locker?
Mm-hmm.
And you can accuse many tennis players of being one-dimensional. Ons Jabeur is certainly not that.
Fault!
Well, Ons hasn't played a great deal of tennis over the last few months. She did play at the beginning of 2025 in Brisbane and in Adelaide, so got a couple of matches under her belt before coming into this Grand Slam. Oh, that was fortunate.
Yes.
Yeah, I've got enough pace on the ball with these nets out here that are pulled a little bit tighter. As long as you have that pace, that let court can work to your advantage.
Oh, wide. Well, Osorio was able to run down that drop shot.
Madison Keys.
Not enough spin to get that precision to get that to land in the court. So facing a couple of break points. Game point now for Jabeur.
Thank you.
So important for Osorio to keep just focusing on her side of the court, not pay attention to your opponent so much when, especially if you know something's happening with them physically. Is that what can happen? I mean, when you know you have to just maybe move your opponent around and keep them out of the court as long as possible, sometimes you just hit a return in the middle of the court hoping for them to make a stake. I mean, that return from Osorio right there for Jabeur to attack. Fault!
Ons Jabeur.
Made to work hard, but Jabeur holds 3-1 in the opening set.
Jabeur leads 3-1.
It was a good effort because it was actually a pretty long game. I mean, the points weren't very long, but her team still looking a little bit concerned, just trying to give her some support. I think for Jabeur too, if, you know, obviously she's coughing, if there's a little bit of a sickness, whatever medication she was giving, you gotta almost give it time to kick in, right? So if she can last, normally, I don't know, it could be 15, 20 minutes. I'm not, who knows what she's been given, but if you can just gut it out a little bit, sometimes that energy can come later.
Weather the storm.
Yeah.
Oh, lovely. That's a beautiful slice Jabeur possesses. Osorio, though, has one of her own, that's for sure. This is going to be a good match, and you know, we're delighted that you join us for this second round match because there is variety in this game. We're going to see all different shots played. Oh, that's lovely. Well done. Yeah, well done from Osorio.
59.
I feel like Osorio needs to be the one that's going to take command earlier on in the point, because as soon as Jabeur gets that rhythm and starts to be able to utilize all those different tools, that's where she can really change up the rhythm on Osorio, make it difficult for her.
Is there more imagination, do you believe, from players who have grown up on clay?
I don't know if imagination is the right word. You mean as far as like the creativity and stuff?
Yeah,
I do feel like
shot making.
I don't know so much variety, but I do feel like on the clay surface you learn how to construct points exceptionally well. As far as shot selection, because clay is a grind, it's not, I mean, when you come to a fast hard court surface, for example, or grass, the court helps you almost as far as if you're a very aggressive player, where if you tend to be an aggressive player, you can't necessarily get away with it as much on the clay because it's slower, the ball bounces higher. Yeah. It's a great game.
Jabeur leads 3-2.
Well, Jabeur has the break, and it'll be interesting to see what she does during this change of ends. She looks a lot happier than she was 10 minutes ago.
I agree. She does look a little better.
And she's got to be slightly fortunate, feel slightly fortunate, because it can get unbelievably hot.
And it's not super hot. Yeah.
I
was thinking the same thing.
Now, if you're the second match on and you've come on after a lengthy men's match that's gone the distance and you're walking onto court at 2:30 in the afternoon, it could be 40 degrees here quite easily. So right now the temperature is perfect. Whether it's a bit of the flu, she's certainly been coughing and been blowing her nose, but we're not seeing Ons at full steam right now.
Yeah, right now it's just about managing
Time.
as best as you can. Trying to manage your energy level, your effort level, taking time in between points, taking those full 25 seconds.
15 love.
Using the serve very well too. I mean, that's something I think an area of her game that's improved is being able to hit her spots on the serve, which is going to be important today, especially if you're not feeling 100%.
Especially it wasn't the most powerful serve, under 147 clicks an hour. But as you said, good placement.
Good placement, yeah, it's a good body serve right there.
Tom Woodbridge always says precision beats power every time. Terrific.
Those are the exchanges that I just feel it's going to go Jabeur's way the majority of the time. She loves this type of game, loves being able to use these beautiful drop shots, the touch. She's got such great hands. It's good response right there. It's good a sign.
40-15.
Job of moving her opponent all over the court.
But she really is so talented. I mean, that's an incredible shot, and just the understanding from that court position, she's pretty far back to be able to feel that shot from that position.
Certainly keeping Osorio on her toes. It's Coach Issam imparting some words of advice, but it's a strong start from Jabeur. She's got the break in the opening set, was off court after 3 games, taking a medical timeout, but back.
Just a deep breath. You know what's interesting is these are the type of situations sometimes you can play better, is when you're not feeling 100% because you just don't have the energy to get upset or frustrated or to think too much about what you need to do. Because as we know as athletes, when you think too much, sometimes that is a disadvantage. And these are those situations that sometimes it almost relaxes you.
Love 30.
Well, certainly the crowd here on court 3 are enjoying this action. Jabeur possesses great technique. But Osorio also brings an awful lot to the tennis court. The only player in the draw from Colombia.
$15-13.
Excellent close at the net from Osorio. I liked after that approach shot, she just kept her body movement flowing forward. That's what you want to do. You recognize that that approach shot's nice and deep and allows you to still close more at the net, which is where you want to be.
Oh, blistering return though from Jabeur. And that brings up a breakpoint opportunity in favour of the Tunisian, which would be very useful to race to a 5-2 lead.
Oh, that was a great serve. Went for more of a risky serve there. Put a little bit more pace behind that one and change of direction. Ricardo Sanchez, coach of Osorio.
He's standing up, isn't he? So
That's true. He gets very active. Just not moving forward to that. And that movement has a lot to do with the unpredictability that Jabeur has in her game. And she's already thinking, Osorio was already thinking about the next shot instead of staying with that ball a little bit longer.
Yes.
Jabeur intending to redirect the point, but that's sailing wide. Deep breaths.
There's a moment there I would have loved to see Osorio take one of those balls out of the air. Was that the second or third shot where I felt like she got Jabeur in a situation where she was going for that slice? Those are sometimes those balls you can sneak forward, take it out of the air, surprise your opponent. Another break point for Jabeur.
Point.
Good for her to actually come through with on top on that point, because these are those moments where you just feel like this is Jabeur's type of game. This is where she wins most of her points.
With great athleticism there as well, running down that drop shot, trying to fire up the Colombians that are here. Most of them are at work, unfortunately, today. There were plenty of them a couple of nights ago, but we're back to juice again. Well, it was a slice off, but now it's a game point. It's a very important point now for Osorio.
Yes.
Toss of that ball way too far in front. She ended up having to really chase after it, pushing it long.
What hands! What fabulous reaction.
Advantage Osorio.
Great anticipation there from the Colombian.
Well, I like that she didn't kind of wait on that ball, didn't assume that she had hit a winner on the approach shot. Allowed her to she got ready for that next ball very quickly.
Was tested, but Osorio holds. Jabeur still with a break, leads 4-3.
Gets to 3. Ball change, please.
Well, we wondered where the Colombians were, and now
They're back.
They are certainly back. Yes, I joined the Facebook group of Colombians
I
in
remember.
Melbourne.
How's it going?
Well,
any messages?
I joined, it was more like the Where to Live Facebook group, and so I know about various flats that are up for rent, but I did post a message asking, hey, anybody come into the Osorio match? But I'm not sure it's on the correct platform or the right group for the Colombians in Melbourne, but certainly they have got wind that they're the only player in the women's draw. Osorio is up against Ons Jabeur. She is a breakdown, but is bringing also a good dose of her own variety to the tennis court. What an entertaining match this is.
Out. 15 love.
A lovely overhead there from Jabeur.
30 love.
Just taking her time, letting it bounce.
Yeah, smart decision there. Just can judge it a little bit better when you give yourself some extra time.
It'll be interesting to see what the year holds in 2025 for Jabeur. Has talked about her intention of wanting to start a family. Also would love to win a Grand Slam. It's come close. 3 opportunities, 3 finals.
Not a bad play, actually, just to try and
14,
run
15.
Jabeur, get her to move more. But you do have to cut it so fine because Jabeur is so good at that type of game. Still a concern on her husband, Kareem.
Jabeur.
Very nicely done. Wrong back-footing her opponent, and now it's Osorio who's serving to stay in the set.
5 games to 3.
That's what's so difficult, is you just don't know what shot is coming. She has so many to choose from.
Yes, she's the master of disguise.
Because right away, your first instinct is to expect the drop shot, and then all of a sudden she can throw in that knife slice as well.
15 love.
And I like that Osorio still, you know, she's still being pretty vocal. She was like that a lot in her first round. She brought that energy, and that can be demoralizing if you're a little under the weather. Look across the net, see your opponent so full of energy.
Lovely touch.
$30 love.
Well, it's a game of unexpected. You don't know what shot is going to be played next, and that's what is keeping these fans so captivated.
$40 love. Lead for subs. Out. 40-15.
Osorio holds, but it will be Jabeur who has an opportunity to take the first set.
5 games to 4.
She leads 5-4. Do you know that chant, Jill?
It sounds like her name. I think.
Yeah. Oh, Cami?
Yeah, I think it's Cami. Yeah, I think that's what they were chanting. Is my guess. That's what it sounded like. It's Camila, but I do think she goes by Cam or Cami.
So Jabeur in a good position right now at 5-4. It will be interesting to see how she does fare in 2025. Yeah, she cares so much about what happens off the court. And Jabeur.
To the point where it affects her.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
she cares about events that are happening in the world. You know, the events in Gaza. She does an awful lot to support. But now it's tennis that Jabeur will be focusing on and claiming this first set against the Colombian. She has the break and is serving at 5-4.
Good news for Jabeur. She has not gotten broken. She's had to face a few break points, but has been able to get through service games.
Love 15. Love 13.
Jabeur needs to take it up a notch in this game. She is going to claim the first set. Love 30. Well.
Very consistent game from Osorio. Very good getting these first serves back in play, starting the point.
serve to love. Well, how about that from Camila Osorio? We are back on serve in this opening set.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how this affects Jabeur, because obviously when you're able to get through the set, you just feel like if you can get an early break, it can give you that momentum, a little bit more energy. But now that it's tight, it's just going to make this match a little bit longer. Just you have to exert more energy.
Eight forehand winners from the racket of Ons Jabeur. But you could just look at the difference in body language and the energy that Osorio is bringing to the court. Jabeur was off after 3 games with a medical timeout. Have those meds kicked in?
You can tell she looks like she's suffering a little bit. I can understand the difference in demeanor. Jabeur's trying to conserve as much energy as possible. Very clever point from Jabeur.
And 3 good chances to break right back. She's certainly making Osorio work for it. Gets the break for the second time in this set. Jabeur convert. 6-5 opening set. Well, we know that Ons Jabeur has a very kind of lackadaisical nature on the tennis court, but look at her here. Not herself, not looking over at her box, at her husband, Kareem, on the right, and her coach, Issam, were trying to do their best to G her up. Once again, has the break, has a great opportunity to take the first set over the Colombian. Osorio is certainly going to fight. That's a good start from Jabeur. Osorio awarded for coming into the net. That was a lovely put away.
30-15.
His approach needs to be deep, and that's what was so effective for her, be able to close and finish that shot off. Great shot, just caught Osorio off balance with the depth of that ground stroke. 2 set points now for the Tunisian.
Fabulous return from Osorio. Forced out wide, and a wonderful cross-court winner.
Yeah, great wrist strength there. One of the best returns I've matched from her.
Oh, that sails long. Ons Jabeur takes the first set, 7-5.
15 love. Out. 15 all. Let for subs. Let for subs.
An open court for Jabeur, able to take advantage.
15-30.
And in this situation, the strategy for Osorio really is, I mean, she's going to want to dictate, but it's hard to dictate against the type of game that Jabeur has. I mean, when she uses a drop shot slice, it's tough to put yourself in an offensive position when you're doing so much variety.
15-14.
2 red points now out of the gates.
It'll be just the start that Ons Jabeur needs. She is not at her usual self. Certainly not firing all cylinders today, but it's 2 breakpoint opportunities. Only needs 1. And that's the start for Jabeur, who is struggling in this second round encounter against Camila Osorio. There you see both her husband and her coach. They're looking on anxiously. There hasn't been a great deal of interaction between Jabeur and her coaches.
They seem to
try to catch her attention.
I was going to say they seem to keep trying to get her attention or catch her eye. It is worth it just to give that extra moral support that can help so much. But it's working for her, though, just to kind of put her head down and know she just has to dig through this.
This is my fight.
Yeah.
I've got to find a way through. She's digging deep, has the break.
15 love.
Yeah, she just wants out of any long rallies right now, Jabeur.
She just wants to get off the tennis court. But the greats find a way.
Let second service.
Not enough on that drop shot. Osorio able to run that one down.
15,
Osorio knows this one's going to be coming too. I mean, she understands that Jabeur doesn't necessarily want to stay in the long rallies on the baseline, so she's a little bit more alert for these drop shots now. They're changed it up. Even I was expecting the drop shot, but that time hit through the backhand. Nice choice from Jabeur.
She's still not listening to them.
No, I think she knows their presence, right? I mean, I think she can feel that they're standing up and trying to give her that extra support. Oh, too much. Good get from Osorio.
30-14.
Opportunity to break right back. Osorio's got good movement around the court. She's able to slide.
Yep.
It's no easy thing on a hard court. Well, we're back on serve in the second set. Osorio, he's showing real grit and determination. She's having a chat now with her coach, Ricardo Sanchez.
I actually feel like that was a big game. I mean, go down 2-love. That just gives Jabeur mentally a little bit extra boost to get through the set. But the fact that Osorio fight through that to get the break right back.
Too long.
She places the ball so well.
Yes.
When she has time on that forehand, she really can hit it anywhere in the court. She's got a nice short backswing and just flick of the wrist.
It's an art. Good play by Osorio.
Yeah, not only getting to the drop shot a lot better, but doing a good job of pushing it long into the court because Jabeur tends to follow the drop shot and tends to move inside the court. And Osorio is finding the length of those drop shots when she's been able to get up to them. Oh, that's too good. Wow. She makes it look so easy sometimes.
Well, it's super technique. Even Osorio at full stretch couldn't respond to that.
Led for subs.
Out.
30-14.
Well, this is the third game, and each game has offered breakpoint opportunities. There's another one right here now in favor of Jabeur. And the Tunisian gets it. So 2 breaks now for Jabeur. Neither able to hold their own serve, but it's Jabeur that leads in the second, 2-1. It's interesting when you watch both players, Jill, just how animated Osorio is. You kind of expect that. She's from Colombia. And the demeanour of Ons Jabeur there, looking down with consternation and concern. They're 2 very different characters.
Well, I think we can give her a little bit of slack probably in this situation.
But a pensive Jabeur right now.
She's looking over to her team occasionally on the changeover when she's been sitting there.
Time.
Her husband Kareem just tapping his chest. My interpretation is showing good heart, just, you know, fight and heart out there. Just rely on that in this situation.
What do you think it could be?
It looks like, I mean, she's coughing, so like it looks like a chest. It looks like sometimes she's maybe trying to catch her breath. So just probably maybe just some congestion. Obviously her cough doesn't sounds a little phlegmy to me. I mean, we're speculating at this point. That's smart.
Well, 2 can play the drop shot game.
59.
That's good she has that in her game right now, because she used it against Sakura as well in the first round. She really has the energy to applaud the shot, but that's what she was trying to do, Jabeur. I was surprised she missed it, actually.
15-13.
5th day of this Australian Open, and I don't think I've seen more drop shots in a match, certainly in the women's draw. It's a lot of heavy hitting from the baseline yesterday in round 2, but this has great variety, this match.
Out!
Carry on. 30-40.
Well, this has been a helter-skelter start to the second set. There's another break point. This time for Osorio. Neither player has held serve yet in set 2.
What Osorio needs to do to really make an impact here now is she's trying because she's using the drop shot, but she needs to get Jabeur on the move, especially off the baseline. There's quite a few rallies sometimes where she's hitting just down the center of the court. Be good to get her to try and open the court a bit more. A little bit lucky there with the mistake from Jabeur. Second chance now for the Colombian.
Ball change, please.
Okay. Once again, we're back on serve. 2
against all.
I think right now Osorio genuinely believes she's got a chance in this match when she looks at her opponent. Have a look at Ons Jabeur. If you're just joining us, took a medical timeout after the third game. It's not been firing on all cylinders, that's for sure. Has claimed the first set, but Osorio certainly is acting with the belief that she has a chance. Would be a big win for the Colombian if she were.
Love 15.
What a winner.
15-all.
Great acceleration through this. There was a little side spin on that slice from Jabeur and just left the line open maybe a bit too much. A great target for Osorio.
Let for service.
Fault!
15-13.
Two could play at that game.
Well, what she's being smart about is using the drop shot before Jabeur can use the drop shot. So she's almost taking that play out of Jabeur's hands. Smart choice.
Reading the game well. It's another break point, Jill. That was a fantastic cross-court winner from Jabeur.
Jabeur leads 3-2.
As she plops down on the chair. I almost felt like she was like, finally get to sit down.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was a fantastic shot, and that's one of her strengths, is that forehand side, especially up high, where she just sneaks forward slightly, unleashes on the forehand, can inject good pace, flattens that one out so nicely, Jabeur.
Boom. Wonderful angle. So has the advantage, has claimed the first set already, Jabeur. But neither player has held serve in the second set, so it's slightly unexpected. But there you see Jabeur, look, just massaging her chest.
I think she's just the breathing, right? Yeah,
Yep.
just it seems kind of like a cold head, chest congestion situation.
Osorio is in full fitness. And she's certainly not going to go down without a fight. Really has never gone further than the last 32. If she were to win today, Osorio, it's a tall order. Last time she did reach the last 32 was back in Wimbledon in 2021. Ons Jabeur, mind you, has reached the quarter-final of the Australian Open. The last time that happened was in 2020.
Thank you.
When she gets those opportunities with the ball just floating in the center, she's got to take them. Great job, Osorio. She stops sometimes in the racket when the ball shoots through a little bit. She needs to keep, having that hand go fast, accelerate through.
Fault!
Good pace on the forehand.
Yeah, just good job being aggressive. Second serve, stepped in a little bit closer. A big point here, 30-all. No one's held serve in the second set yet, but this would be huge for Jabeur, actually, if she can hold here, just to relieve some of that stress of having to work that much harder.
Jabeur is feeling it. She's at 70%.
But I love that she doesn't go for the line throughout this point. She's just constantly keeping.
That's what she has to do.
Osorio on the run, yeah. Still keeping her margins very good throughout that point.
So Jabeur holds serve for the first time in the second set, enjoys the break as well, leads 4-2.
Jabeur leads 4 games to 2.
Osorio is very much on the back foot, needs to start finding some answers quickly.
I felt like Jabeur put a little extra push there. That was the, in those last couple points, she actually looked a little bit better physically, and I think she just wanted to push through that game just to keep that lead, consolidate the break.
Love. Love. Love.
How about that for sprints?
Osorio doing most of the running out there. It's actually been incredible that Jabeur is in this position with how she's feeling physically.
Good hold of serve to Love. She's going to continue fighting, but it's Jabeur with the break. And the set leads 4-3. Well, we now have a trainer out for Osorio.
Probably take the medical. We'll let you know.
If you need anything, please just let us know.
Will do. Thank you.
These physios can work miracles, can't they, Jill?
It's a great staff that they have out here. They do work hard. They're running from court to court. I mean, a lot of times they're assigned certain courts, but they do work hard, especially, in Australia it gets so hot. We know we try and prepare for that. Today it's not too bad, but...
Well, Osorio has been put through her paces by Jabeur, who's done an awful lot more running. Lots of sprints. Oh, now Osorio is off to receive treatment. And look at Ons Jabeur. I mean, there's a look of consternation. It's funny, for a player who cares deeply about her tennis and about the world, she looks dejected out there, and I know that's the way she comes across.
Well, no, I mean, she is sick.
But look, she's crying.
I mean, she's not feeling 100%. So I think we do need to give her a little bit of leniency here. But
medical timeout, of course.
I mean, she's obviously struggling with something in Osorio as well now, dealing with something we're not quite sure. But what's amazing to me is how often these athletes travel week to week. They're changing conditions, environments, weather, countries, continents. I mean, I'm surprised that the athletes don't, get under the weather more often.
But once again, reaching for her chest. They are concerned. Issam Jalali on the left, her coach, and her husband, Kareem, who's standing up. And if you're a fan of Ons Jabeur, well, the scoreline is in her favour. The match is falling in her direction. She's got the break in the second set, 1 set to the good, but it's going to be made to work by Osorio, who has taken time out. to see the physio. She's been doing that throughout the course of this match, Jill.
I know, potentially maybe just trying to get some air through the lungs a little bit better, through the chest. I mean, I'm impressed with how she's been able to manage herself out here. It's not the easiest thing to do. You're not feeling great. You have to go out there. It's a very physical sport. It's not the easiest thing to do. You do everything in your power to feel good, get hydrated before the match, and get ready. And sometimes things are out of your control, and this is those moments that you have to figure out how to handle those struggles, those challenges. And I mean, I have to say, I think Jabeur's doing a great job of trying to stay out there and figure these things out. It's not easy.
2 games away from a place in the 3rd round, serving. Will this be a test of her resilience?
And I'm just going to go over and just have a little chat.
And it's actually the first time in this match that Jabeur has walked over and had a conversation. She has been looking over at her coach and her husband throughout the course of the match, but this time seeking advice, words of encouragement. It's a physical game, but also a mental one as well. So both players have received medical timeouts. And Osorio is back. There you see some taping on the left thigh.
Time.
She has been doing a lot of sprints, as we just saw. She's been covering a lot of ground, so let's see how she responds with her movement. And smart, I mean, right out of the gate, stretching her on the serve. That recognition of seeing her left upper thigh taped and strapped. Good job from Jabeur.
Let for service. Very low. Out. 40 love.
And a good service game for Jabeur. Osorio now serving to keep the match alive.
Jabeur leads 5 games to 3.
Strong game. I almost feel like that extra time for Jabeur to have a little chit-chat with her team, just kind of have that extra time to rest. Helped her a little bit. Strong service game from Jabeur.
Love 15.
6 double fault for Osorio in this match.
the line. It's a deep penetrating shot from
59.
Osorio.
I could hear her putting more effort into that ball, just trying to find the extra pace off the ground. Jabeur is inching ever closer to the finish line. She's 2 points away from a place in the third round. Just missed, not by much.
15-14.
Well, 2 opportunities now for the Tunisian. It's been a struggle today. She has not been at her best. But a disappointing finish. And Ons Jabeur digs deep and finds a way to advance through to the third round at Melbourne Park in straight sets. And a heartfelt exchange of words between these two. All class.
I can only get the sense that Jabeur felt like she almost needed to apologize with how she was on the court. That is just an amazing sign of the respect that she has for her opponent and for all.